Very cool video for you today. We're going to look at how to mic acoustic guitars with these types of mics, which are small diaphragm condenser microphones, and these are the CC8 by Austrian Audio. Hey, what's up my friend? Crystal Lim here from Mixdown Online. Today we're going to talk acoustic guitars, how to mic acoustic guitars with this type of mic, which is a small diaphragm condenser microphone. Like I said earlier, this one is the CC8 by Austrian Audio. So I'm going to show you how I mic an acoustic guitar using one mic and also by using two microphones, which is also pretty nice. But first, let's look at this specific mic by Austrian Audio, the CC8 condenser microphone. So this, like I said, is a small diaphragm microphone, pencil type mic, and if you look right here at the back of the mic, we have a filter and we also have a pad. Okay, so which is pretty nice and very practical. So the filter, which is a high pass filter, will go down to 60 Hertz and up to 120 Hertz. The pad itself will go from 0 dB, of course, to -10 and -20. Very, very cool. Now, before we jump into the miking techniques that I want to share with you, let me just go over a few advantages on using small diaphragm microphones like these. First of all, they sound very natural, not very colored, okay? So you're gonna get a natural sound out of them. Also, they have very fast transient response, which means that they are gonna sound good on instruments like an acoustic guitar, a piano, drums. They're gonna sound very good on drum overheads, and even toms actually can sound pretty good with these types of microphones. Now, leave me a comment below if you would like me to make a video on how I record drum overheads using these types of mics. Another advantage of working with this type of microphone is the off-axis coloration, meaning that the EQ curve off the side of the microphone is going to sound close to what we get at the front of the microphone, which is not the case when using large diaphragm microphones. And they also focus very well at the source you're miking by rejecting the sound in a very efficient way. Now, without further ado, let's try these on an acoustic guitar. All right, so don't worry, I'm not going to play the guitar and I'm not going to use this very bad looking guitar full of dust. I just want to use it to show you the mic placement by using that one microphone. So if you mic your acoustic guitar using one mic like this one or a large diaphragm microphone, the first thing that I do by using one mic is to aim the end of the neck. This is kind of the sweet spot usually that works on most guitars. Now, the reflex of someone new to recording is going to be to aim at the hole, the guitar hole that we have here. This is a bad idea because there's a lot of energy coming out of that hole and that will produce a more muddy sound. So just pay attention to this. So that's why I usually aim the 12th fret of the bottom of the neck, and that is kind of a sweet spot for the most part. But I just give it a bit of an angle towards the hole though, so this is basically how it's going to look like. So let's go and listen to how that sounds like with Jimmy playing, not me. Now, if we mic the guitar with two microphones, there are several ways we can do so, and this is actually one technique, which is the spaced out technique, meaning that I'm going to mic the guitar using my two mics on different position of the guitar. So the first mic position is going to be at the same location as we did by miking the guitar with only one mic. I usually keep a distance of 6 inches or so. This is kind of the sweet spot, but if I want a darker sound, I'm going to bring the mic closer. But if I want a sound that is a bit more bright, I'm just going to bring the microphone further away. Okay, so this is a way you can play with the EQ and the tone of the guitar by using the distance of the microphone to the source, which is the guitar in our case. Now, the second microphone is going to go and aim at the lower side of the guitar, which has a lot of tone. Okay, so it's going to give me a kind of a darker sound, but a very nice one. And I'm going to use the same distance as I have with the first microphone. Okay, so it's probably going to look similar to this. I'm not sure if you can see it correctly, but you know, this is how it's going to look like. And you're going to see it on Jimmy's guitar anyways. But the number one rule and something to remember when miking a guitar with two microphones is the 3-to-1 rule, which is going to help for phasing. So the rule goes like this: the distance that you have between the microphone and the source has to be at least 3 times the distance you have between the two microphones. So if, for example, I have 6 inches between my microphone and my guitar, I need those two microphones to be at least 18 inches apart. By doing so, I'm going to avoid getting into some phase issues, because this is something that you need to consider when miking a source with two microphones. You can run into phasing problems. Okay, so this is a way to avoid this. And another tip here when you're miking your acoustic guitar using the spaced out technique is to make sure that you keep yourself stable with the guitar and you avoid moving around sideways. Okay, so this way you're going to avoid a kind of little phasing problems if you move too much. Okay, so just keep yourself stable if you're using this miking technique. Now, the cool thing about using this technique is you have 2 different tones. You have a more kind of a bright tone, which is captured by this microphone, and also a more kind of a darker tone with this microphone aiming the bottom end of the guitar, you know, the body of the guitar. By blending those two, you can get a very nice tone. Something that I like to do also with this technique is to keep this microphone, you know, in post when mixing, is to keep this signal like in the center or a bit slight to the side, and the more darker tone a bit panned out. That actually works very well and gives me a very nice natural stereo feel. So let's listen to what we have with Jimmy. Now, another very cool technique, and this is one of my favorite, is to use the XY technique, which is basically putting the mic on top of each other at a 90-degree from each other also, and it's going to look like this. Okay, so I don't know if it can focus well, but there you go. So you're going to mic your guitar using this technique. Okay, so the microphones, both mics are not going to mic the same part of the guitar. One is going to go more towards the whole of the guitar or the body of the guitar, and the other microphone is going to aim a bit more towards the bottom end of the neck. So again, it's about finding the right position and also the right distance. What I do afterwards is I pan them left and right in post during the mixing stage, and it gives me a very nice stereo image. And the cool thing about using this technique is that you don't need to worry about phasing problems are not going to happen, okay, because those microphones are miking the guitar from the same location. Okay, so phase is not going to be an issue, so that is something not to worry about. So this is one of the cool advantages of using the XY technique. Okay, now the last one I want to share with you, same mic position, XY technique, but instead of miking the guitar in a horizontal way, let's do it in a vertical way, okay? The other way around. This is going to give you a different tone because we're going to be miking the top end of the guitar and the bottom of the guitar. Again, you need to find the sweet spot depending on the acoustic guitar you're recording, and again, the perfect distance also. But this is going to give you a kind of a narrow sound, you know, opposed to what we get with the horizontal XY microphone technique. So the vertical XY is going to give you a bit more of a narrow sound, but also not as narrow as miking the guitar with only one mic. So it's kind of a good way to keep your guitar sound narrow. I still pan them left and right, but I'm going to get a more narrow sound compared to the horizontal XY feed. Now there's more recording techniques to mic acoustic guitars. I can actually make more videos on that if you want to. Just leave me a comment down below, but those are the ones I'm gonna use most of the time. Actually, something you can do is to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what acoustic guitar miking technique you like to use on your side. I'm curious. If you want to know more about the CC8 by Austrian Audio, I'm gonna leave the link down below. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave everything below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share, to like, and to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Until next time, my friend, take care and see you.